What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Come to you guys tonight with a quick live feed. I've been busting my tail all day, but we have a live feed tonight where I will discuss some high cash flow business ideas. And pretty much what we talk about high cash flow. What we look at is the difference between the revenue and the perspective, the overhead, and the cost that it has in regards to what we say. In the finance world, we may be talking about high margins or high cash flow. Again, whatever your initial overhead costs, that means your rent, your insurance, payroll in regards to that, what kind of business will create the highest margins? That's subtracting revenue from basic expenses, okay? Which ones have the highest the margins? Reason why I want to have a discussion, because I get phone calls all the time in regards to people want to do different business ideas, things run across their minds. I had a young lady reach out to me earlier today. Matter of fact, she was looking at opening up, getting a loan or try to get funded for an actual restaurant. And the discussion came up where when we were talking was that she was asking me, about different things she could do to actually be able to get, a brick and mortar or a bigger space with, because she was already doing things out of a house. And so what I always revert back to, you guys know I'm a numbers person. Have you done your numbers? Have you ran your numbers? And the reason why I say that is because far too often, sometimes we get bigger confused with better, right? And a lot of times people say to themselves that, hey, listen, if I had a bigger space, I probably could sell more, I could do more. And that's not always going to be the case. Okay, so I'm going to run you down the difference. Again, we're talking about high cash flow business ideas. I don't know what the hell I'm getting tongue-tied. But yeah, high cash flow business ideas. And again, we're looking at cash flow, or margins, that being the actual revenue minus the overhead expenses, that profit. That's what we're talking about. Which ones yield some of the biggest returns in regards to doing that, okay? Because a lot of times, if you're not really experienced with business, a lot of times people equate busy as far as making profits, but that's not always the case. So let's get back to the story in regards to the young lady. So the conversation went about, she was had the restaurant, not a restaurant, but she was just selling, food on the weekends out of her place. What's going on, Coach? How you doing, brother? But yeah, the young lady, she was selling the plates out of her home on the weekend. She was telling me she was making, I forgot, you say for explanation purposes, she was making probably about, I think I forgot the dollar amount, but I knew it was coming at about $7,000 a month. Let's just say for easy math, she was making $2,000 on a weekend, right? On the weekend, we're selling the plates. And so the thing of what I looked at, so if that's $2,000, that's $4,000 a month. Her thing was if she's able to get funding to get a bigger space, she'll be able to sell more plates because she's selling out. My thing, what I brought to her attention is I asked basic math in regards to, what she was doing. I said, what were you selling the place for? She told me she was selling the place for $35 and she would sell out at 25 plates. So we look at basically $35 a plate times 25. I want to use better numbers though. That's why I got the $2,000 example. That was $875 a month. That was $875 on a weekend. Again, $35 place. She sell out at 25. $875 a weekend times 4. There we go. That's $3,500, right? Cool. Now we know with the $3,500. Let's take for example, we do know that there may be some kind of difference in regards to that's not $3,500 profit. She still had to buy, the food, the supplies, containers, things like that, right? Let's just say get a little wiggle room. Let's say the actual overhead, what her doing, even though she's doing out of her house, we're not gonna take the actual expenses that it would be for her, the uptick in electricity or gas for the food. We'll just look at basic food costs. So let's say that's $1,500, right? So that's still $2,000 she's making, right, on a month. $2,000 she's making net profit, right? The issue that I was trying to tell her When you start talking about going to a brick and mortar location, the increase of actually the cost of doing business. So now we start taking consideration. We got rent, we have insurance. You got code inspectors, food inspectors, all this kind of stuff going in. So you just uptick the price. So the thing of it is, if you're looking to break even with doing it, your thought process, yeah, I can sell more, but you're not thinking about the increase of price. The issue that comes with all that, like I told her, I said, what could happen easily was, I said, if you turn around, just say if you're selling 25 plates, right now you're selling out, you get a bigger spot, let's say you double up. So now we're looking at $35, 35 times 25, 35 times 50, I apologize. It's been a long day, y'all. Please bear with me. 50. That's $1,750, right? And then times 4, right? We had $7,000, right? $7,000. Here's the deal what I was telling her. That's $7,000. You probably got enough to, like, with wiggle room. So we said $1,500 doing it out your crib with making that money. Let's say we double that up. We're doing it. So now we at $3,000, right? 3,000. So that's 7,000, 3,000. That's $4,000. So we're at $4,000. We're doing that with the margin that's going in now. So you ask yourself, would that be worth the risk of doing it? So the thing that I told her, I said, yeah, you can look at that. You can do that with one thing. But what is the quickest way for you actually to increase the extra amount of money you're making? Because one thing about it, too, we know the costs right now with being inflation, costs are doing what? Going up. I said, why don't you just change your prices instead of charge 35, maybe charge 40? Again, that may seem like, people may be kind of reluctant with doing it, but you can increase your prices and don't need to sell as many of something and still make more money, right? That's just like theoretically, we say somebody's getting their taxes done for $300 and somebody's getting their taxes done for $100, right? The person that's charging $100 got to prepare 3 taxes as opposed to one that's doing just one. So we got to kind of look at it in regards to that. The thing we want to kind of go with that, sometimes when you actually even be in a position where you maybe make bigger margins, sometimes you can kind of level off and be about the same. That's what I want to kind of get to everybody. You may sell more of something in a particular location. You may sell more, and you may make more in revenue, but after you subtracted all the costs you had, you still might be netting in the same amount of money. So the thought process is it really worth it? And that's why I want to have a discussion with you guys in regards to some high cash flow or high margin businesses. And the reason why I want to do this is just kind of these are some actual business ideas that you guys can do where it's not going to take a lot of capital out of your pocket. You have the risk of whatever you're putting in, but again, it's not in relation to actually the money you're putting in, the money you're putting out. It's a bigger chance you better make a fatter profit for doing it. So that's why I want to have that discussion with you guys today. Again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The main main forum is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 600 videos covering entrepreneurship, business, finance, and investing. Please, if you're on Instagram and TikTok, I don't have the link for you guys to go, but please visit Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Check out the channel and take advantage of all the great information that we do have on the YouTube channel. So back to what I was saying today, we're talking about high. Sorry, hell, I keep forgetting my train of thought. But high cash flow business ideas. So the first one I want to talk about when I talk about these particular different high cash flow business ideas. I introduce and talk about and kind of give you an example of what I mean in regards to, why most of these business ideas yield a bigger profit margin. The first one just will be, two and I'm very familiar with, and that's, starting up a course. You guys know I have to, how to start your own tax business course. The thing of it is with the course is pretty much when you look at starting a course up, guys, in general, one of the main things about it is just that initial cost. Then you may have some, per advertising cost, just to push actually the course out. But actually, whatever takes you that framework to actually devise that course, from that point forward, once it's sitting in there, everything minus the actual monthly fee of the actual company that does it. And I think that can range you anywhere from, you have some that are free, and then you have some that maybe like $100, depending if you have more courses, it may cost a little bit more, but definitely that's just the only actual fee you have. The actual creation, then just the monthly maintenance fee to keep it on somewhere. Again, the only thing you may add to it if you're doing any kind of advertising, but let's put in perspective, right? So say if you're selling a course for $500, right? $500, and then you actually put in, this is just your course, right? 500 books. You have the monthly housing fee of $99, so that's $100, right? Then you turn around, you actually may put in, let's say $200 for actual advertising, $200 a month. So we're on the hook right now with $300. So $500 minus $200 profit you made off the rip. From that point forward, every course you sell for $500 is going to be straight profit, right? Straight profit. And we went on the low end with $500. You're talking about, like you say, you got $1,000 course. Those actual the overhead price cost is still the same, guys. It's still the same. The cost doesn't change in relation to the actual price that you have set. The cost doesn't change to the actual volume of the courses or how many courses you sell. It's just, again, you have a low overhead. Excuse me. I really don't think it's going to be a variable as to how much money you're going to put in the advertising. Now, here's the deal. Could you build a course and put money in advertising, don't sell anything? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that's what the onus is on you. I mean, at the end of the day, this is business. You can lose every damn thing. Nothing is surefire. And if anybody tell you that you can't lose whatever, they're a damn lie. So I'm just going to be honest with you with that. But again, if you set your course up, you know who your course is for, it behooves you to spend a little time to find out how am I going to advertise to these particular people. Okay, how am I going to direct, my dollars to them? You can get you any kind of business consultant or business coach or advertiser, more so a marketer, to kind of help you get strategically find a way to do that. And you may only pay them for a couple months to learn the craft or how to direct your particular product to a particular customer, whatever. And then from that point, you're good to go. And that's with any business, guys. If your strong suit is doing what you do, i.e., plumber, electrician, course builder, accountant, whatever it is, and you're not real good at marketing and advertising, you can find somebody to help you do it. Watch what they do, look from the sidelines, get intel, and go from there. That's if that's not a strong suit of yours. But the first one was courses, and again, the initial build out, that's about it. Like I said, the only variable is the actual amount you would put in advertising dollars, and that's with any business. To be totally honest with you, because we do know advertising is the lifeline of your business. Okay, some things you can actually post, some things go word of mouth. But again, at the end of the day, I don't necessarily know how feasible, how much you want to bank on that with doing it, depending on what type of business you have. Okay, the second one being a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel, for the most part, to be totally honest with you, is what you just initially put into it. Now, you can't be in a situation where you actually got these all this high-end cameras, lights, and things like that with doing it. I wouldn't advise that starting off. I would just work on, how to, get good topics, set yourself up, be able to deliver it, be natural, be comfortable with getting in front of it. And then from that point, you want to, put a little capital behind the actual business. That's cool. So I would actually do from that perspective. But you got that chat GPT. I don't understand what you mean right there, brother. That's the thing with a YouTube channel. And again, you have some people that actually have, just say, 100,000 subscribers. I'm just throwing a number out there, but just a bigger YouTube channel rather. And they may have a team set up where they actually got people actually writing, editing, and doing things like that. But they're operating at a bigger volume, on a bigger volume with doing that. But again, we start talking about high cash flow businesses. We talking about businesses where you're not putting that much into it. To be very honest with you, just starting a YouTube channel, the only damn thing you need is a Gmail address, right? Once you got your Gmail address, from that point, you can just fill in and stuff and just walk around with your camera. I mean, that's what I did. And actually, when we first started Changing Lives 7 years ago, hell, the brother that actually taught me, to help me get everything started, that was the thing you just told me. He said, D, hey, look, just get comfortable in front of the camera. What you got? Robert Well 540 said it will help advertising and will help guide you in many business. Absolutely. I appreciate you too. I appreciate that too also. But yeah, the YouTube channel, you don't have to put that much into it. You may can get you somebody to actually, do you a decent YouTube banner, things like that. Way everything's set up. You have different streaming platforms. Like I use StreamYard. StreamYard is actually a platform that you actually can connect all your social media platforms together on one channel with doing that. But for the most part, you don't have to do a lot. I'm just be very honest with you with that. With it, I think people spend more time in getting the bells and whistles instead of trying to just get something that people want to damn listen to, or even not being bored as hell. But I think sometimes if you kind of just put a little time into being the best you possible, I think that'll help you out a lot. When people do that. Let me see. Robert Will says free. We are trying to hold as much green as possible these days. Totally understand it. And that's the whole thing I want to have this discussion in regards to high cash flow business ideas, is because we all very well, like I just said about the restaurant, price of everything going up. You said that, you want to have your bakery and stuff, just say the eggs are $5 a gallon. It can easily be $10 a gallon by the summer. So we don't know. But at the end of the day, any opportunity we have to actually make as much money as possible and spend as least amount of money as possible to make a nice little chunk of change, we definitely want to share that information with you guys. Okay. Again, guys, one thing about if you did come in later or you just coming in now or anything, remember what I said. I'm Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar Self. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. Over 600 videos on the YouTube channel. So what I'm streaming live now, regardless if you're looking at us from Instagram or TikTok, make sure you go to the YouTube channel. This whole video will be, listed on there and everything. This comes from a whole different angle. I got these different cameras and everything in front of me. But just remember, if you come in later, you miss something, you get dropped, just go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and you'll be able to see the whole show in its entirety. So that was the second thing what I just mentioned was the YouTube channel. The third one is the vending business. Here's the deal with the vending business. And when we talk about vending business, we can be talking about your straight little candy machines, your soda machines, and everything like that. I've done that several times over the past couple of years. My only issue is, and that's probably I want to share with you guys, with vending business, very, very profitable business, very, very profitable business. Because again, the main cost you have, the main two costs rather, just the initial cost to buy your machine with doing that, and the second cost is more so just the which is probably a variable cost, stocking the machine up and making your sales from there. The challenge you may have on the front end, I always say, when you get in the vending business, they may have your soda machines or candy machines, bubblegum machines, whatever it is. I would actually kind of just do a little intel or checking first to find out, what businesses or what places need certain things. I wouldn't get the machine first. I would actually do some intel. So if you want to do, different warehouses, office buildings, and things like that, they'll stop for a minute. What kind of machines do they need? You just getting into it. I wouldn't go into getting, vending machine 2.0 with all this digital stuff and everything. We're doing that. You can get one of those, maybe I want to say, 1920 machines, but you can get some probably, those maybe 10, 15 years old. But I would also, before I make a purchase, do a little research to find out, how many repair guys are in your vicinity and what their prices are too. Okay, you want to kind of get that together. You may also, if you buy a used machine, if you talk to a repair person, just say, hey, listen, can I pay you like $100 consulting fee? I'm looking at getting some machines. You mind going with me to look them over to give me an idea if it's good or bad? I mean, the reason why I would say that is because you can easily get yourself in a situation where you bought, a lemon, and a lemon damn machine is not the same as buying a lemon car. You definitely, lemon laws to get that one back. So I just will say that these are just some things on the front end. I always, say be very, very diligent doing that front end analysis. My brother Robert W540, thank you for helping teach people making money. Oh, my pleasure, brother. My pleasure. But with the machines, you definitely want to, do some kind of homework in regards to where those machines are placed, because you buying the machines and call around to set it somewhere, again, the corporate break room, the break room at the warehouse, guys, that's for different kind of stuff. These people may want, just say, some snacks, granola bars, things like that. They may want, more sugar-free juices. You go to the warehouse, guys might want burgers, hot dogs, honey buns, and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being very serious, but you want to just kind of get an idea of, what the potential customer want, and with that, I go through a London Mormon. As I repeat the first two businesses. I go back through the whole list once I go through everything, but I will tell you this. Well, I mean, the first two was courses and the YouTube channel. But again, I will get a disclaimer. If you come in later, remember the whole video is going to be on the YouTube channel later. But the first two was the first one was courses, and the second was YouTube channel. But I'm going to go back, just summarize everything once I get through it, through the whole list. And I appreciate you tuning in as well. The vending business, again, when you get the machine, like I said, if you're getting a new one, that's cool. The thing of it is, remember, check out that video I did on break-even analysis. So we start putting in them costs. Again, we're talking about high cash flow business ideas. Once you get the machine, you can get an idea of how much it will cost you to stock, with everything. Again, but we've done our homework, right? We figured out where we going to get a contract at, what are we targeting, what products we're going to put in there. From that point, we can work backwards and work our math, because we know the prices, the markup we're going to have it. I bought this snicker for 50 cents. I'm going to sell it for $1.50. I got to sell so many of these. And so you do your math from there, right? From that point, it may take you a certain amount of time just to get your money back for, that initial machine purchase. Then from that point, you just look at the variable costs associated with it. And, you can do well with it. Got it in the right spot. They like eating the stuff you got in there. It's going through it. That's how you roll. But I think far too often people that get in this business, as far as vending, they are focused more on, get a vending machine, you can make a lot of money. But sometimes just use your head, just say, okay, look, what do the people want for where I want to put it at, right? And then from that point, you make them happy, right? And again, just start thinking about that. Now, on the flip side of it is, some of the things they want, do you have access to it? Is it going to be profitable for you to do it? Because even though some people may want, what are those, kind bars? And you start you want to talk about some kind bars because you got in this office building full of all these administrative assistants, right? I mean, the kind bars might be so damn high, even what you can charge, they don't even want to pay that. So the margin is going to make sense to do that. So we got to kind of, again, we still got to think, but we still want to always be able to do that math. And again, don't let your emotions, what you think or what you want to spend, get carried away with that. I appreciate that, Alana. I hope I'm pronouncing your name, Alana Mormon. I appreciate that, young lady. Thanks so much. Get the emotion side out of it. I always, me, I'm always going to say, do the math. Check out those videos I did on Mr. Short Dollar on how to price your products. I went from the actual percentage method, the cost method, so check that video out as well. I did a whole graphic where you can look at it, how to price your products and stuff like that. So you're not going with the assuming method, because, I don't believe in that, they charging $5, I'm new to business, so I'm going to charge $3. Hell no. They charging $5, you might need to charge $7. They might need to be doing it too. So just because they're doing it and you're new to business, that does not justify you coming in lower or what they are. You got to do your own research to do that, okay? Remember, we say front-end analysis. So again, we start talking about these high cash flow business ideas. The vending business is a great business. Just make sure you do your homework on the front end to do that analysis about location and pricing of the products to put in there. The machine's going to kind of much be the same. Make sure, again, you get somebody on deck, some kind of repairman to be able to service it. If you don't have that, I will be a little leery to get into it, because it's not when something going to happen. It's not if something going to happen. It's when something happens. And at the end of the day, they don't want to hit it. Hey, the guy ain't called me back, so I'm waiting for them to come by there and fix it. No, they just go in the real yellow pages. Well, not yellow pages no more. What they got there? Just Google it or Yelp. Hell, they're just going to get another vending business. So you really want to have 2 or 3 on deck. Just keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. The fourth one, and this right here is one that I think so many people is saturated, but that doesn't stop you from doing it. You can always make a lot of money as long as you got your niche. And that's coaching and consulting. Everybody's subject matter expert on a lot of stuff. But here's the thing about it. It's not a bad thing, right? Because I always say that So many of us have done things in life that we really don't take advantage of, right? My best friend is an HR director down here in Atlanta, and Sanjay always told me, he said, Pooch, you only got to do something one time to get experience with it, right? And so there are so many times that people have done things. You might used to help your dad to work on the cars when you were growing up, you and your uncle. Y'all should, do some carpentry work. You stay in the kitchen with your grandmama all the time when you were younger. She taught you how to bake pies and bake cakes and stuff like that. So y'all have some kind of experiences, but the flip side of it is we just never take time to monetize it, if we want to, right? The thing of it is with the coaching and the consulting side of it is that, listen, man, you just need to focus on being the best you possible and find out from the knowledge base you have and for the service you're trying to provide as far as the coaching and the consulting, who's your target market, right? You may just say, I've been working in, as a mechanic for the past 30 years, man. I don't really want to get up there. I want to turn, my shoulder hurting, wrist hurting, just, back problems and things like that. I get it. So you say, well, how can I just monetize what I know? From that point, you may be, look, for those particular engines right there, a lot of people don't really know how to deal with it. I may be a subject matter expert. One of my best friends, he did contract work because he worked on those. I forgot those. It was a recovery truck that the Army was using during the right at the end of the Iraqi war, where they had the V bottom. At the end of it, but it was like a recovery vehicle. But it was designed when the explosion hit, it diverted the impact. But long story short, he actually went to get the instructor license for doing it. So he made more money going over there, just being like a stand over the shoulder of the soldiers when they actually needed somebody to, get some extra insight in regards to doing that. Just like with coaching and stuff. Here's the deal with coaching, and I did a video on that, how to pick a coach or a consultant, just some things you need to do as far as if you're looking for somebody to be your coach or your consultant, some questions to ask, the thing to look for, because, two key things, guys, with a coach and a consultant. You need to make sure they're credible and they're verifiable. You need to make sure they're credible and you need to make sure it's verifiable. What I mean by credible is that you ain't just getting somebody just, hey, because anybody can get a website and say, they multi-million-dollar business owner, business mentor, grew to the stars and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, you can look and see if this damn person got some damn certificates of education. And I'm not saying you have to have, that's only people that know something with a certificate of education. But I will say this too. If we get sick, I can understand we trying different holistic or different other kind of ways of looking at stuff, but you're going to still go to the doctor, right? I'm just saying. So we do want to get some kind of person that has some kind of expertise, verifiable expertise. Good place to look sometimes is LinkedIn. If you want to go deeper into it, you can actually, maybe go call the college or see the actual organization that they have certifications on, especially when we start talking about dealing with money, law, medicine, and things like that. If that's what you want to do. And if you got a good feel for them, you say it don't matter, I understand. But again, that credible and verifiable piece, that's that. Like I said, you can just look and see if they're on LinkedIn and they have, you just say, anybody can lie on anything. Let me say that too. But most of the time, when you look on there, you can be able to see some of these credentials. You can also kind of back out to see, okay, this place is they're actually certified with. Let me see, the validity of that and all that kind of stuff. But you can kind of beat it up a little bit better as far as looking at them, as opposed to, being falling, in love with the glitz and glamour. I'm down here in Atlanta. And, everybody and their mama is an expert. Everybody's a guru here, there, and that. And again, they may have just got an LLC or something like that last summer. And they sold a couple widgets, and now they're an expert in starting their businesses and stuff like that. And you can lose your whole damn shirt, everything you got, just dealing with people like that. I never knock anybody about want to start their own business. What's up, Bucket B? My best friend. What's happening, brother? What's going on? I never knock anybody that wants to get into business and wants to, do for themselves and things like that. But I always tell people, make sure you can cover yourself. I mean, if you're going to deal with people, keep your name straight. So again, if you're looking at consulting or coaches, make sure they're credible and verifiable. But getting into the business for yourself, I don't think you need to do for the most part, guys. Like I said, just, the amount of money you put in your advertising, the amount of money, and you may have some costs here and there where if you want to just, do some speaking engagements where you may want to pay to become via speak on a certain platform and things like that. The actual, like I said, advertising, social media presence, things like that. But if your price is right, I mean, we're talking about, hell, one customer, half of the money you charge one customer may pay for your overhead for the rest of the month, and everything else is profit. You can make a lot of money as a consultant and a coach, a lot of money. But it does require a lot of hustle and bustle for you to get yourself in a position to be required or be, looked for as a particular consultant or coach. You got to get out there and get your hustle on with doing it. And that may be like for advertising, that may be actually, trying to tag along and meet with certain people, do certain things, collaborate with certain people and things like that. I think it requires probably a lot more of your time on the front end to establish yourself out there. But after that, I can just tell you guys, it can be a moneymaker. It can be a moneymaker, okay? The next one is personal training. Talking about high cash flow business ideas, personal trainers. Guys, I'm telling you, I can just tell you right now on the low end, you can just buy your little $100 training set from Academy Sports, and just find your damn park, and you can just sit here and just do group training and things like that. It's amazing. But again, you're talking about just the upfront cost that you charge people. High cash flow business ideas, guys. Again, we're talking about things that you just can monetize just off your regular life experiences, the things that are going on between your ears with doing that. And again, that one I just said, a personal trainer or coaching. I was a youth football coach, retired a year ago, youth football coach for 20 years, and I actually helped start one of the largest training organizations in the United States of America. I dare you, at one point, I think in 2015, ESPN had us as the second largest training organization in the Southeast region behind IMG. Like, so I'm telling you stuff, this is verifiable. That's why when we look for these particular people and you looking to get in that business, two things: credible and verifiable. So anything I say to you, you can Google it, right? And a lot of people ain't gonna give you that charge, with that. But again, if you can actually want to help people get in shape and everything, I will say this. If you're going to go down that road, get some insurance and get some certification. Only because if you took the time, you got yourself in shape, that doesn't mean you don't understand people that may have certain health issues, especially, in the African American community. We come in with diabetes, high blood pressure, things like that. And when you start training a person a certain way, the way one person reacts to the training doesn't mean the next person will react to the training. So make sure you get some kind of certification with that, and then make sure you get you get some liability insurance for doing it. Outside of those particular things, again, just the advertising and the hustle that you take to get some exposure for yourself, I think you'd be fine. But that's a very, very lucrative business. But I just think far too often the only problem with that is a lot of these businesses that I'm getting in, or with business in general, a lot of people don't necessarily have that hustle bustle. When things slow down, that's when they want to quit. And if you can get in your head to say, listen, I'm in here for the long term, you'll be okay. Because a lot of pretty much, when it's in the business, once the train is rolling, you're making your money. But far too often, people just not ready for the train to get warm up to take off. I put my money into it. I got all this stuff. I got my LLC. I got all this stuff going. And I made these posts and nobody's coming to me. And you get ejected because the motion isn't going the way you want to go. But that ain't how it works. Okay? You're in it for the long game, right? We not necessarily, patty pies. We're out here trying to make some money. And at the end of the day, you have to do some kind of social proof where people can validate you, some kind of, proof in regards to people can see what's going on. They maybe want to see, okay, I'm letting my friend do it. And, after a while they do it, and, they get some positive results. Then I come to you. That's just how it is. You just got to be patient. If you be patient with it and trust the process, you'll be fine. Okay. But that personal training and coaching, very, very lucrative business, very, very lucrative business. But again, try to get some kind of certification. And the more certification that you can bring to the table, I believe that you can increase the price for your clientele, because you can actually be, depending on where you get certain training at, and it's not always required. Let me say this too. A lot of times business, just like, getting a job, it's all about who you know. If you know somebody in this elite spa where you can charge, $200 an hour, and somebody was able to get you a job in there, That's how it goes sometimes. But then a lot of times, if you got your credentials together, you can go certain places and charge different prices. So, it's give and take, but just to even cover you will help you say it, make it a lot easier. Get those credentials together. If you can get certain certification, things like that, you get the right niche, I think you'd be okay. Especially in the world we're in now with so many people want to be in shape, stay healthy, and also with the advent of youth sports just exploding, and everybody wants their kid to be the next this or the next that. There's so much a need for trainers, and the more that you can solidify yourself being a trainer instead of just a former ball player with some equipment, I think that'll help you out a lot because you can change the actual clientele and the prices. Because parents kind of finicky, right? Parents want a lot, but they don't want to pay that much. So if you can actually get yourself with the right certifications and actual credentials behind you, I think you can get you in a better base. And I think that was actually the method that we followed at Daniel when we went to solidifying certain things. We were able to go to a different demographic and charge a different price, right? So that's I can take from personal experiences. That's one of the best things that a person can do is actually get those credentials and everything together. Another one is inspector or appraiser. You guys may or may not be familiar with the real estate market or even some things. Now you have to be with just real estate, building inspector, food inspector. Then one that outsourced. Shit, we just talking about getting the damn certification. And get the certification. Go through this the time to get it. You may have to spend the cost more so as your time to actually get your name out there and make relationships for people to call you with doing it. If you actually just a home inspector appraisal, you get them relationships with the different lenders and stuff. Just say, hey man, make sure I'm the go-to guy to call. Take somebody some lunch. Well, what's going on, my brother Dewan? I appreciate that. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. We need to do some work together soon, brother. We need to do some work together soon, man. I'll reach out to you this week. But definitely with that appraisal standpoint, guys, we talking about high margins. And that's damn near 100% profit right now. You just getting phone, your basic cell phone bill or whatever, and you just got people calling you. All right, bro, I appreciate that. Just booking you. And from that point, hell, it's at your leisure how busy you want to be. But again, it started off the same thing. This whole thing between business and business. Business go fast. But we start talking about doing business, get them relationships together, right? We talking about inspector and appraiser. I'm talking about damn near, what they got probably 98% profit, right? You start talking about that, you just spend a little time. And when I say little time, that maybe be 6 months, maybe a year. I ain't say you got to quit your job while you're doing it, but you just constantly making relations. You might got to send some gift baskets. You might got to take somebody to lunch, but you building relations. That's all business is. Business is all about relationships. That's what people don't understand. Excuse me. Something that sticks with me. What's going on here? I'll make sure this thing didn't go out. I think man, I have should I have a glitch? Okay, cool. We're back with the stream, y'all. I thought I had lost everything for a second. We had a gala with the one. I'm a treasurer for the 100 Black Men South Metro, and one of our elder brothers said something that he was giving a speech and it stuck with me, and I kind of correlate this with business. You said a lot of guys coming into this organization and they come in handing out business cards. Can you think about elite organizations kind of like a 100 Black Men? People is by networking, get to meet people and things like that. But he said something stuck with me. It was the truth, and spot on in regards to business. He said those guys that come in handing out business cards don't last long, because what people don't understand, people do stuff for you because they trust you or they get down with you, right? Not because when you go in them kind of circles and stuff, everybody got something going on, right? It's not like I'm just I'm happy to meet you. I'm happy to meet you. But if we got a relationship, I can get down with him. Her name is good. And I've seen you do a couple things, watching from the sideline. You help me with this. I help you with this. I called you with a question. You called me with a question. We kind of venting each other, kind of see, okay, what do they know and everything. And once we got that relationship going, it's definitely going to call us, hey, man, listen, you need some taxes done, call D. You need some financial statements drafted up, hey, call D at Majestic and everything. And those are kind of things, the relationship with doing it. You say, hey, man, listen, D, man, listen. I got this guy, man. Listen, it's last minute. They got to close tomorrow. They need these financial statements. Brother, can you help me out and stuff like that and everything? Man, I'm about to close, but I tell you what, I got you. And at the end of the day, those kind of things help. I've had so many people do things for me because my name good, and when they needed me, cool. But you understand that again, that's the relationship. Everything is not going to be transactional. A lot of times people deal with you. Nobody trying to tell you to cut your prices, but the relationship, I can't stress that enough. And I think a lot of people that are new in entrepreneurship, they struggle with that. And if you come into entrepreneurship and you've been in some kind of hospitality industry, you kind of understand a little bit more for the service piece of it. But a lot of times people get into business and they don't understand that whole relationship and scratching palms and all that kind of stuff. They don't get it because everything, I say this, I got to have this and all that kind of stuff. Once you got actually a real live network, what I mean by network, that network, your network is almost like a monetary asset can be attached to it, where you can actually got people in your network that are decision makers. They actually, instead of just worker bees, and when you have a network like that, that's when you get a lot of stuff done. That's when you can help yourself, help your family. Even when you got bad stuff going on, being able to call the right people, even if they can't help it, they know the person that can send you to it. Okay, instead of the person that works there. That makes sense. Not trying to knock nobody, but that's when I talk about just networking. And a lot of times people aren't comfortable with talking to strangers. But again, you're only going to get better or more comfortable with something is by practicing and doing it. Okay. So again, that is inspector appraiser, high profit yielding business. Okay. The next one is websites, social media builders and stuff. It is what it is, but that, your HTML, your code, you're good to go. Same thing I said before, you got to spend a little time kind of, building your name up, building your business up and things like that. But actually just straight things you got to just house it. That's fine. You determine. Again, when we start talking about this, guys, remember, I'm not talking about you going out there and spinning the world trying to get this storefront and everything. I don't see that benefiting. I don't see that benefiting. It's got to be, the math has to work to justify it. Just because you say I can do a little more, have access to more people doing it, you still got to do the math. And a lot of times you can actually just increase your prices to make up for the difference that you feel like you may be making. If you actually go get you a brick and mortar spot, right? That's the thing about it. The pandemic did teach us something. The pandemic taught us, hey, we can work remotely. We have something called the internet, and I do not have to meet you. We can do all kind of business in our pajamas all day long. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. But a web developer, social media expert, things like that, main cost gonna be your time. Okay, so I would say this, guys. When I give these, and I'm gonna go back over everything. Remember, most of these ideas that I'm giving you, you can go to your local community college, right? I went to grad school at Clayton State here in Metro Atlanta, and I get a newsletter every quarter in regards to, like, they have their little certificate programs for coding, HTML. I think if you want to become a what's the word called? Code enforcement, private detective, certified contract. They have different programs. They're like an HTML, QuickBook courses. But I say all this to say, most of these things I'm talking about, since one that may require some kind of certification, you can go to your local community college and pay $300-400 and get certified to get some kind of education on this stuff. Okay, so again, I'm not talking about stuff that's going to cost you a whole lot of from a monetary standpoint. You're going to spend some time. And that's one that, I'm big on time. That's like I said, I always say that's the new currency. I'm a supply chain guy. So that's why, we can be as effective and efficient as possible. That's great. But at the end of the day, we're trying to, plant these seeds and build something. You want to spend a little time with doing it. As long as you got that in your mind, I'm doing this big picture wise, you will be okay. Okay, now, the last one I want to go over, guys, is photography. For I told so many people, I see it all the time. You see the sisters like Arab. You know what? It's funny because, and I love everybody feeling good about themselves. But I see more women now, the fellas too. Everybody want to take their chic poses and all this other kind of stuff. Have not had one bit of modeling training and everything like that. But they got their poses, they got everything set up, they got the right filters and all this kind of stuff. People pay a lot of money to do that. If you really want to go out there and get it done, you do again. The only, I think the biggest piece you'll pay is probably for that initial equipment. I would say to the point I just brought up, you can go to your local community college, take some classes here and there before you spend a lot of money to actually buying a certain type of camera. Learn, angles, learn settings, learn backgrounds, learn themes, learn all that kind of stuff. Once you learn that, from that point, you can just start investing to yourself in regards to software and cameras and things like that. But you will be amazed how many people out there are looking for photographers. Right? Photographers from a personal standpoint, photographers from, just your products and stuff going in certain magazines or certain things, or, you're just taking, certain pictures and things like that. And with software does so much in regards to, you had, 30, 40 years ago, people had to sit there and be in the red room and all this and different kind of things they had to do, try to fix pictures. You don't have to worry about that now, right? You can actually take your pictures and they can touch it up and everything. And 20, 30 minutes later, everything's done. Stuff that would take over a week, 10, 15 years ago. Okay. High. Outside of that original setup cost, i.e. camera, i.e. software, straight profits. Again, you might have the advertising fees. Again, we're talking about high cash flow, high yield, high profit margin business ideas, right? Guys, they are out there. Okay. They are out there. So what I want to do is go back over everything from top to bottom, just rehash it. The first one is courses. The second one is a YouTube channel, social media, however you want to do it. Third one is a vending company. The fourth one is coaching or consulting business. The fifth one is personal trainer. The sixth one is an inspector or appraiser. Go get them licensed, guys. You're thinking about it, you got some experience with it. Take advantage of it. And listen, these are things you can do in addition to your regular everyday job, right? They don't have to change your whole lifestyle or anything. You can just do this in addition to. It's just another tool in the toolkit to have, right? The next one, I forgot what damn number this is. The next one is website or social media builder, all right? And the last one is photography. Guys, listen to me. Take advantage of these opportunities out there. I always tell y'all the world is flat and the world is waiting for you to go out there and get that money from it, okay? And I always want to make sure that, when I'm sharing information with you guys, you're understanding that a lot of stuff just really depends on how hard you want to go out there and get it. I'm not going to be the one to sit here and say, I've been in business, this is what, 21, 22 years. We've had the tax business, accounting firm, whatever you want to call it. We 21, 22 years. And the first 5 years, man, I was on that damn chitlin circuit. I had a nice job downtown Atlanta, nice office, oak and marble. So, it wasn't pressing to do it. And then it kind of like at that midpoint, that's when I kind of like, hey man, let me put a little more time, be a little more serious. And, and the money changed from there. And I started going to, mastermind groups, started getting a coach. I started putting a little money behind myself. Start dropping a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there to get in these groups and going to these coaching sessions and stuff. And then I seen everything change. Then I was like, shit, I don't need that job. Now, again, I'm not telling people to leave your job, but I'm just saying I put that work in, put that time in with doing it. And I had my little feel through period where like, I'm just going to do this and do that. And I don't know how it's going to go and stuff like that. But once I kind of, matured into everything, it was cool. But when we start talking about the ones I wanted to share with you guys here are not only good ideas for business if you want to make, high cash flow, a high yield and high profit margin, they don't require a lot of capital. Because far too often people ask me all the time, like, hey man, I need to get this loan, I need to get this, I need to get my credit, I want to get a grant. Y'all gotta understand something, that your dream should not be based on the access somebody else give you to get it started. Let me repeat that. Your dream should not be based on somebody else giving you a damn decision if they're going to give you some money for it. If you want to start that landscaping business, you want to start that bakery, you want to start this recording studio, you want to have it shouldn't have a damn thing to do with if somebody else is going to give you some money or not. Your journey to get it started may just, shift or change, may take a little longer. That's fine. But if you're not willing to go the extra mile to make your dream happen, you really didn't want it. You really didn't want it. You really didn't want it. And a lot of times, people use that as a protection mechanism to kind of stall themselves. Man, when I get my money, I'm gonna do this. If I ever get that, this, and I'm gonna do that. I don't think I need is a little bit of this, and then I do that. That's bullshit. If you really, really want it, nobody else can sit here, can stop you from it. When I made in my mind that I wanted to leave my job, I wasn't financially ready to do that with children, my home and everything like that. So I spent 2 years, and I've shared this story with people a lot. It took me almost 2 years to get my finances in order where I could live off the bare minimum, where I needed the bare minimum for my business where it could just cover my household and things like that. And then from that point, I knew I could bank on me to make it a difference. But it took me 2 years to get myself to do that because I wanted to go out there and do it on my own. I didn't have no help, right? No help and everything. So that's the kind of thing I'm saying. Like, you have to understand, everybody not going to see your vision. Everybody ain't going to believe in you. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's good to have support. It's good to have people behind you, but you can't bank on people going to sit here and just see everything the way you see it, right? And your passion for something is just that, your passion, right? So other people, other businesses, banks or whatever, giving you an opportunity, giving you funding, that's great. But if they don't, figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. That's it. That's just it. If you really, really want it. That's what I mean by that. Figure it out. And as you go down that path of figuring out, that's when you're acquiring the knowledge and experience for a lot of the do's and don'ts to do. Because I'm firm believer in order for you to be, you got different tiers of success and different tiers of money. I think you won't have to, gain and lose to get knowledge in regards to how to keep, right? You have to gain and lose to get the knowledge on how to keep. Because a lot of times, you say, look, I had $100,000 in the bank. I got to kind of mess it up. So the next time I get it, I know what to do. As crazy as that sound, again, you have to have some kind of experience with doing it. Now, you can be on the sidelines doing it as far as working in a business, and you have access to it, you know how to do it, but it's protected because, at the end of the day, it's still not yours, right? But when it's yours, you got to kind of go through some lumps and bumps and, get a real little funky education in regards to doing that and everything. That's why I always, tell people to kind of go on the more cautious side with doing it. So that's why we want to have the discussion we're having this evening in regards to, high cash flow business ideas. All the ones we just gave, guys, listen, they don't require a lot for you to get started. They don't require a lot to get started. The biggest cost that most people are going to give up is what? Your time. Your time. And it's far too often when people get in these mixes, I ain't got time to wait. What I always say, when we're young, it's going to take too long. When we get older, I ain't got enough time. Either way, you're going to rush it and push it and make mistakes. Take your time. Take your time, okay? Do a lot of research. If you're interested in one of these, I'm actually going to put the list in the description section of the video of the YouTube channel. So if you did miss anything or you came in later in of it, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, check out the video in regards to that. Like I said, I'm going to put the list in the description section of the video, guys. And listen, I want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you tuning in. Well, I'm here. Why you got me on, guys? Mr. Short Dollar, ain't Mr. Cheap Dollar. So if you got any business-related questions, anything like that, y'all can shoot right now. If you got any questions, anything you want to run by me, anything, hey, you got me now. You know how it is when we start the invoices come. So you want to get in entrepreneurship, you're looking at funding, grants, anything like that I may know off the top of my head, I can answer. I mean, you got me here, so feel free. If you got a question, y'all know your boy charge $2.10 an hour. Y'all might have seen them links on there and everything. So again, you got me free. So if you got a question and everything, feel free, please, 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 to ask me about it. Okay, got it now. Oh, you quite welcome. You quite welcome, Stephanie Moore. You quite welcome. I appreciate you tuning in. Anybody got any questions? I mean, I'm here. It's free, guys. What I was about to say. Let me put the link in the description section if anybody want to do a consulting appointment or anything. We're doing that. Also, I'll put the link. We got the Mr. Short Dollar Tax course. Again, I apologize on the normal we stream at the studio. That's just once a week. Somebody Rika Lab, I'll be working the boards and they can put a lot of links in, especially on the TikTok or the Instagram, but I'm working the boards by myself. So if you are interested in anything, please go to the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. That's the main hub. Over 600 videos. We've been in the game over 5 years. We're doing it. Um, so please feel free to go there. I just, run my mouth about the tax course. I have the Mr. Short Dollar Tax Business course where I made a course where if it's created, if you want to get into tax preparation business or you're already in the tax preparation business, and it teach you how to run a tax preparation business. Far too often people, I'm pretty sure this time of year you're seeing everybody and their mama posting they're doing taxes and stuff like that now because they see it as probably some profitable business. It's okay business to be in. But it's not one of those type of businesses. A person tell you if you do 100 returns, you can make this. That's cool. But who the hell are 100 people you're going to get, right? And I always kind of say, if you being realistic, you're going to get these amount of people this year, these amount of people this year, these amount of people this year. You can be realistic about growing it. But what I do is pretty much teach you if you want to have a virtual office space, you want to have brick and mortar, how to advertise to your customers year round, how to maintain relationships, how to create a referral-based culture, how to actually, from an operation standpoint, just say brick and mortar, they come in the door, from the moment they come in, sit down, get their taxes done, leaving out, and even after that day when they left out, how to maintain that relationship from the brick and mortar perspective and also from the virtual perspective. I give you my marketing calendar. I give you my advertising calendar. I give you all that information. I give you all my intake forms in regards to the questions you should ask and things like that. All that on the Mr. Short Dollar how to start your tax business course. All that is on there. And some things I actually, probably, promote a little bit more. I've been knee deep with tax season just started. So let me get a couple questions. I'm gonna come to you right there on TikTok. Give me 1 second. Stephanie Moore is asking from YouTube, are there any tips you would share about doing that? Be a little bit more specific with me, Stephanie. I was just running my mouth. I apologize. What is the that? I apologize. I'm running my mouth. Let me see. Okay. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I need that. Let me fix this. Stephanie Moore just asked, I apologize. I just started event planning business, but I'm looking for donors for an event I have coming up. What I would say is this. Okay. We just talked about this. No. That's my fault, Stephanie. I was reading too fast. Atlanta Public School graduate. No, that's my fault. But what I would say, if you're looking for donors for your event planning, what I would say too is meet you down. We have the event. Who's actually what kind of event you're gonna have when we say that you may to alleviate costs, you may get people that can actually donate some of their services. What I mean by you have a DJ that may be an up and comer. You may have somebody actually do balloon services. That may be an up and comer. I don't know if up and comer is the right word, but just somebody trying to grow their business and get exposure. DJ, lighting, maybe some people that may help with the setup. I don't know how engaged you are with doing in regards to what you're asking, because the question was asked, the help with donors. I don't necessarily know the monetary aspect of people contributing money, but you probably get the services or some of the costs alleviated. A new catering company is looking to get started and things like that. You can collaborate with them, but listen, can you do this at such and such cost? Or you can come in and you guys can do that, and they can actually get themselves exposure with doing that, and they can maybe have a table or something in the front to help them get exposed to it. So you can get probably a lot of donated services for people. The actual monetary donations, you can usually I would say try to actually get relationships first. I always say get relationship first, then ask for money. I'm not a big proponent of asking for money if we don't know each other. And I'm saying that I'm a board member for the 100. So we spend a lot of times maintaining relationships year round to actually, so, it's more so like they're compelled to give us money as opposed to, because we're going to do something with their business and they're going to do something with us. So if we go into this place to ask for donations, we're going to spend money with them during the year, and then they're going to spend money with us during the year. Again, that's the whole relationship concept. So I would say, with from the donors and sponsor standpoint, I would probably try to get actual some of the vendors to come in and actually, donate some of their services, but also getting exposure. And then the people that will actually want to come to the event, try to get focus hard on who you want to get future relationships. use the first one as a learning mechanism, and then from that point, you can actually, expand it. Now you got relationships going. You can nurture the relationships, and then from that point, you can just go back to them later. Hey, listen, we're gonna have this next event. We put a lot into the last one. How would you like to be part of this next event as a donor or a sponsor? I hope I answered your question with that. But I always kind of like I'm big on getting a relationship first, and then we go, start talking about getting money and everything after that. Okay, Matt Davis 40. I hope I answered your question. Let me know if I did or not. Matt Davis 4841. I missed the business ideas. Could you shoot off a few? Matt, I'm gonna tell you what. If you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, because of a few, check out the video and everything's there. And I'm gonna put the list on there. But I'll read it to you right quick. But definitely go check it out. And I broke down the different ideas: courses, YouTube channel, vending, coaching and consulting, personal trainer, inspector/appraiser, website, social media builders, and photography. But go to the YouTube channel, check out the video. Definitely check out the video. And because I went through it all the way, and I think it'd be super beneficial. Go to the video, and when y'all go to check out these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, cool, Stephanie. I'm glad I was able to help you out. But yeah, I'm a very big proponent in doing business about relationships. I ain't too big. Cool, Matt. Cool. I'm not too big about asking for money. I'm on the palms down, palms up process. That's me. I used to, even as a youth coach, people would always just say to myself, man, because I'm not big on standing on the corner with a helmet or a baseball cap ask for money. I was just, I took and I shared them, giving you guys for free. And for years, people were like, man, how in the world do you get us so much money with your team and stuff like that? And I ain't, to be able to do it. I took a 5-mile circumference of the park I was at, and all the restaurants and bars, fast food. I made sure I went there, had a conversation with the manager, and say, listen, every Tuesday at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, I'm here, all my team and stuff like go there. Can I get 10% of the ticket? Every Wednesday, such and such, I'm here, all my team and family and friends come here and, can be 10% of the ticket. The bars in there, I'm gonna have parents' night. I'm gonna have all my parents come every second or third Wednesday of the month. Listen, I get 10% of the ticket minus the alcohol. And I mean, I had, like I said, shit. I mean, I'm sorry with cursing, but hell, 20, 30, sometimes $50,000 in my accounts. And that was because I was all about maintaining relationships with the businesses in the community. I wasn't going to them begging for money. And at the end of the day, don't get it twisted. Don't think none of these major corporations really care about, the community of that donating and stuff like that. It's all about relationships. If you feel you see that Coke is being, dealing in the community and they're donating funds back into the youth programs, you'll be inclined. If Coke didn't feel that there would be a positive response, regardless of what they say, I don't believe they'll be donating some of these things, because there are some things that actually don't align with some of these major corporations. They just won't give money to it. That doesn't mean they're bad business, but if they don't see it align with what they're trying to do, they won't donate to it. So I always had a palms down, palms up perspective. So if you come to anybody to do something, well, listen, man, that's the deal. You look, I need to do this, but what I can do, I can give you this, that, and that, make it beneficial. Old head told me a long time ago, when you do a deal with somebody, and this not being chauvinistic, this could be a man or it could be a woman. But he always said, you all want a man to feel good when he get up from the table when y'all done did a deal. And that could be a woman, whoever. But he was just pushing that to me because you want to make sure it's fair. You don't want everything to be so one-sided that you pitch it. Because I get calls all the time. Hey, Deonte, I got a business idea. Why don't you, I just need you to invest in this. And this ain't no damn investment. It's like I'm giving you money. Like, I don't even get the whole concept of you paying me back. And then I get paid back the money I gave you. So I'm going to give you my money to get my money back with nothing attached to it. No hell. And if it doesn't fold, you still get to keep everything. No, hell, no. And I say all that to say, and I've done videos in regards to how how to set up deals, how to, how to have conversation with other investors and people like that. We have videos like that on Mr. Short Dollar. You got to make sure everybody leave the table feeling good. It might be stuff like, yeah, I missed out on that and all that kind of stuff, but we cool with everything else. You got to be ready to negotiate. Negotiating ain't about everything just working out for you. That ain't how things work. It just ain't. It just ain't. And that's why you don't have a lot of true deal makers out there. But when you start talking about you want to go next level, and this is a good point, what Stephanie bringing up, with the event planning, with the course. No, that's not included. The course is straight about the actual tax, the tax preparation business. It teaches not. I don't teach how to fill out forms. I don't teach tax laws. It's just more so the actual business, because so many people get into the business. But I don't teach the actual deal making. But what I do teach in regards to different niches, in regards to different ways to actually build it up, and as far as like having certain things I have set up that I reach out with the community, referral based systems and things like that you can have to grow your clientele. If you're dealing with your people, if you're dealing with different organizations in the community, all of that is in the course. All of that is in the course. But just from theoretical standpoint, and I was just asking in regards to was that information in my course. But I will tell you, this information I'm saying right now, it's on tons of my videos on the YouTube channel. But theoretically, guys, when we start talking about relationships, just check out that video. Business is all about relationships. People, if they really feel you, and they believe in you, and you believe in them, they're gonna go the extra mile. Man, come on, man, be solid, and they trust you. Because people don't have to like you to trust you. Because we ain't got to be, we can be at different views. I've been at a lot of board meetings and been at a lot of tables. Everybody wants so cool with each other, but we trust that, hey, they're gonna do right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really keep it a secret. Even I go to some of these 100 meetings and everything. Some of the brothers be at polar opposites where I see certain things, but I knew genuinely all them guys do care about kids. They do care about young black men. They do, and we do have not just young men in general too, but they do have a penchant for making sure that our youth and our future is very big and bright. So regardless of how I feel about certain things, I put all that stuff to the side. And I see majority of the time the same thing is done with me also. But when we start looking at these deals, guys, make sure, again, it's going to be a situation where everything's beneficial, okay? Is there any more questions? We question out. Okay, cool. Well, listen. Regardless, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Please, Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate you coming in with me being on here late. Your boy been grinding all day. Been one of them busy days. We just starting up tax season. So, most of the time when I do it, come in, it's going to be in the evening and nighttime. Also, check out my other YouTube channel, Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Got some good stuff coming out this year. I've changed your life. I've been like a motivational channel. So, but we've changed that over to a black father advice channel. Come from the perspective of a black father, guys. I'm a single father with four black sons. One graduate from college, one in college, one finger to graduate, go to college, and now my baby boy in middle school, but. Coming from all the mistakes that I've made, the good things, the bad things, I probably had bumps with my ex-wife, pros and cons, even with my in-laws, even with just dealing with my kids, ups, downs, disappointments, happiness stuff. And I want to share that because far too often what I found with that is that you have a lot of people giving blind advice. And what I mean by blind advice, you have people telling you what you need to do in your marriage, people telling you what you need to do with your children, and they have neither. And, even with career wise and stuff like that. So I just want to be transparent with some things that have happened in my life and what I've seen to kind of give game. And also, just like with that channel is different because I try to have open-end dialogue because that doesn't make me right. That doesn't make you wrong. But we can sit here and have a conversation and ask each other, well, where did you get that from? Like, I didn't think about that. So that's what we try to promote a lot with Change Lives. Not necessarily this way conversation, but more so back and forth. So check that YouTube channel out, Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got about 500 or 600 videos on that channel. That was my first channel, so like 7 years old. So check that out as well. But listen, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thanks, and I appreciate. Stay tuned in. If any of your family friends are not subscribed, make sure you share it with them to tell me subscribe to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Y'all take care, be safe, and I'll talk with you soon.
Mm-hmm.